and weathered the storms and everything. Everybody left, and they just give their people that was leaving, just practically give their property away. And they began to buy up that property, those guys that could get hold enough money to pay down on property. And probably some of them millionaires now. But
Yeah, wouldn't doubt it a bit.
Neil and I was going down to through Oklahoma one time, and we'd stopped at J.E., Lottie's oldest boy. He lived in Stonewall, or right out of Stonewall a little ways. And we stopped at his place and visited them. And we started on down to Lottie's, and it was right on the road that went by the school where I used to go to school in Tupelo. So, but the road, they'd made freeways, and they'd completely bypassed town. And I was driving along, and of course I hadn't been back there in years, and I didn't realize that I was just about there. There was used to be a roundhouse and train depot and everything there, and there's nothing there now in the way of trains or anything, you know. And that's what I was looking for. This just before you get to town, you get to this roundhouse where they turn the cars around, turn the engine around and everything. And I was looking for that. I never did see it. So I was just driving on, and I happened to see the sign as I went by. A little sign pointed Tupelo. So I turned around, went back, and got over on the main drag of Tupelo. And it used to have, what was it, 2 stores, 2 grocery stores, post office, a drugstore, couple service stations, a lumber yard, cotton gin, and I mean, you know, it's a pretty good little town. You get about whatever you wanted there, and or what we could afford. So I started up the main street. There was a little old cafe, kind of drive-in like deal, little old bitty joint, just as we turned on the main street. I told them, I said, I'm just gonna stop here and see if there might be somebody there. There wasn't, I think there were 1 or 2 cars there, and that must have been the owners, because there wasn't anybody in there but us when we went in there. And they had 2 or 3 little tables with chairs, and then they had a bar that sat up the counters, ordered. Went in, we ordered, I think some donuts and coffee, sat in there. We hadn't been there very long, just 5 or 10 minutes. There's a fellow came in, pulled up, nice pickup, pulled in, drove, got out and walked in. And I looked up, and he was looking right straight at me. And I turned my head, you know, I didn't stare at him, but he was staring at me. And he went on and sat down at the counter. And every time I would look over at him, he would look at me. And after a while, he got up and he came over to my table. He said, I just want to ask you a question. He said, are you one of the Tyner boys? And I hadn't seen him. We were both, well, we were probably about the same age. He probably a little older than I was. I was probably, the last time I seen him, I might have been 12, 13 years old. And he recognized me. He said,
Wow.
You've got to be one of the Tyner boys.
Wow.
Well, you can tell a Tyner from
Oh,
anybody
yeah.
else.
Yeah.
So I said, yeah. And he said, have you been up to the old place? Well, they talked about where I was born, really, lived. And I said, yeah, I drove up there on the way down, and went over to Uncle Ike's place. That was Hattie's, Houston's wife's grandpa, Ike Brooks. We called him Uncle Ike. So I went over to Uncle Ike's Brooks's house, and went just to pass to some big oil tanks. I turned around there, and that's as far as it went. He said, "Yeah, those are mine."
Okay.
He said, "You guys will get to leave here," and I started buying land. Says I've struck oil in several places,
Yeah.
Oh, my
and he
goodness.
still lives in Tupelo.
Oh, my goodness.
Still lives in Tupelo at that time.
Well, so-
But that, just show you how those Okies are. This guy asked me, said, "Have you been up to Chalk's store?" Chalk Clifford. There's some friends of ours we've known for years, but the same church. I said, "Well, no, I didn't even know he had a store." "Yeah," he said, "he's got a store." I said, "I'll call him and have him come down here." So he's probably asleep. Said he just sits up there and sleeps. But nobody hardly ever comes in there during the day. So he called. He had ring several times, and I guess he probably was asleep. And he said, "Chuck," said, "somebody down here I want you to see." Said, "Come down here." So about 5 minutes, he drove in down there, come in, and but that's just the way they are, you know. They just everybody, one meet one, the other, so everybody else got to join in.
Jeez.
it's more fun that way.
Wow.
Which parents is it that goes with which? Is this grandma's?
Hmm?
Is this grandma's parents?
Yeah,
And
that's her. That's grandma's daddy, and I'm not sure if that's his mother or not.
her mother, you mean? That's
Yeah.
her dad,
Yeah, that's her dad.
but not her mother.
I'm not sure.
Oh. Oh, okay. But that is grandpa's parents.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
We really need to do a good genealogy on this group
I
and just
know.
track them all the way back, you know. Gonna end up in Europe someplace.
Well, Christopher, where he's going, he's going to have a pretty good,
Well,
pretty good lineup.
man, we'd love to have a copy or something, you know, at least be able to read it. That would be very interesting.
Well, see,
Very.
we lost my dad's antecedents mid-Atlantic.
Hmm.
Because that's where my great-great-grandfather remarried on the ship because his wife died.
Mhm.
And something got disconnected there, we can't get back any further. Yeah, we know it's back in Serbia, Germany, Serbia, Hungary, something, we don't know.
Now, Paul's boy, John, he's a teacher at Lysail or someplace like that. He's done quite a study back several years ago. I don't know how far back he got, but they said he really was digging into it.
So, you know,
But they didn't have, back when he was doing it, they didn't have all this communication like they do now.
Well,
Okay.
did you tell Charlie who my great-grandfather is, what his last name is? Tynert.
oh, Tynert, yeah.
I'm a Tynert with the T on the end.
Oh, my goodness.
So we could be cousins, you know. I have this great big book for a long. I never really looked at it because it was in a cardboard case, but he had his name on the outside. And finally one day, it's a great big thing. I mean, it's just huge. I thought it was a big Bible, but I knew it was going to be in German, so I wouldn't be able to read it that well. In fact, it was in old Gothic German. Finally pulled it out one day, got to checking it out and reading it, and of course his name is inside where he wrote it in, Carl with a K, Tynert. Turned out to be the complete illustrated history of the Lutheran Church. And tracked it back to the old Serbian church outside of Gideon's and all that. And he brought it over with him on the ship. So we are probably related and just,
You know, there's two groups, Tanners, but it's the same group, but there was a disagreement in the family somewhere. There's one T-Y-N-E-R,
Okay, yeah.
And that T-I-N-E-R. We're
Right.
the T-I-N-E-R, and there's a T-Y-N-E-R, but it's the same. So if you run into T-Y-N-E-R, you might still be relative.
You never know.
Well, then there were the catcher sides and the catcher sids.
Yeah.
But I figured it's still the same thing. They all came from the same place.
Well,
Is it time to give him a break?
I think
Yeah,
so.
okay, we'll give him a break.
Love doing this. Appreciate it and thank you so much.
We'll
Well,
probably,
I
we'll
hope
probably
that-
wanna do it
Wow.
again. Just because, yeah, there's things that
Wow.
you'll figure out and remember later on or whatever, just.
Would you like a copy of this?
Well, yeah, I wouldn't mind.
Okay,
Show it to my kids.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So we'll get
Oh.
this all done up and give you a copy and this is wonderful, thank you.
Oh, I'm gonna show you one of my pictures. You remember that time? Birthday party? You guys was my birthday party, wasn't it? My last birthday party? Yeah, 'cause you,
Yes,
You
when,
gave me
when,
$100
Yes, when,
down at Amanda's.
yes,
that's right.
Yes.
That's right.
yes, we were there.
That's right, forgot
How
about
cool. Yes, we were.
that. How cute.
Yes, that's
Was I there?
darling. Yeah. Yeah, Charlene and, I'm not sure about Charlene, but Evelyn was definitely there. I'm not sure that
Oh.
Charlene made it.
Yes, I remember
Yeah.
that.
No, Charlie wasn't there.
Yeah,
No.
yeah.
Now, this was wrong last year, but